Welcome to this complete Oblivion DLC guide, in which I'll give you an overview of each DLC, the benefits offered, and most importantly, show you how to actually start them. Please note that I've timestamped each section so that you can skip to the one that you're interested in. So, first and foremost, you need to have the DLCs installed. It sounds obvious, but it's an easy enough mistake to make. Check the version of the game that you bought, for example, Game of the Year Edition, and make sure that it has them included. In total, there are 10 DLCs available. You have the famous Horse Armour, 4 different houses, the Wizard's Tower, the Thieve's Den, the Vile Lair, and the Fighter's Stronghold, 2 minor DLC content, the Orrery and Spell Tomes, and then you have 3 more substantial DLCs. In order of smallest to most significant, you have the Mehrunes Razor dungeon, the Knights of the Nine quest line, and of course the famous Shivering Isles expansion. Let's start with the Horse Armour, which is basically just a skin for your horse that also increases the horse's overall hit points. Now this is actually quite useful as enemies do target your horse in Oblivion and they can quite easily kill it. How do you get it? Well, it's about as simple as it gets. Towards the end of the sewers, basically the game's tutorial, you'll be given a quest. In fact, most of the DLC quests are either given towards the end of the sewers or immediately after you leave, with 2 exceptions. Once you have the quest, you're going to need to travel to Chestnut Handy Stables just outside of the Imperial City, and you're going to need to speak to this orc. It's worth noting that many fast travel locations, primarily cities, are already unlocked at the beginning of the game in Oblivion, so always check if you have fast travel unlocked before running somewhere. Now at first, when you ask her for horse armour and a horse, she says, "You've got to be kidding," which is fair enough really. But if you then tell her that you're not fussy on the type of horse you get, then she'll offer you both a basic horse and the armour for free. Job done. Moving on to houses and starting with the Wizard's Tower, also known as Frostcrag Spire. This is an elaborate player house that offers players features such as a botanical garden that produces over 100 different plants, in fact including those that only spawn within the Oblivion Gates, as well as portals to all mage guilds and the Arcane University in the Imperial City. Not only this, but the tower also contains an altar that allows you to summon creatures from Oblivion to fight alongside you, as well as enchanting and spellmaking stations. You get the quest at the end of the sewers, and you simply need to travel to this location on your map, enter the building, and read the book near the door. This book will provide you with instructions on how to upgrade the tower and to unlock all of its features, which basically just involves visiting a vendor and spending some money, and that's actually the same for all of the other DLC player houses. Next up is the Thieve's Den, known as Dunbarrow Cove. The Cove provides a new vendor offering thief-based items, and a new trainer providing skill upgrades, also of the sneaky thief persuasion. It also provides access to an unlockable lockbox to train your security skill on, and a fence who will allow you to vendor stolen items. On top of this, the Thieve's Den also allows you to recruit pirates to fight alongside you. As with the previous house, the quest is given at the end of the sewers. You need to travel to this location on the map, dive down into the wreckage, clear out the skeletons guarding the den. Note that there's one in the ship's cabin and one in the corridors, as well as the more obvious ones patrolling the main area, and then the house is yours. Again, a book with instructions on how to upgrade the tower and unlock the listed benefits is provided. The third player house DLC is the Vile Lair, also known as Deep Scorn Hollow. This house offers the ability to recruit a minion who can both make you gold and fight alongside you. It also allows you to grow poisonous plants, as well as access a number of fonts and shrines that allow players to do things such as be cured of vampirism, or give them the ability to heal and cure diseases even when at a high level of infamy. And finally, the lair also offers vampires the ability to keep a prisoner to feed on, which is pretty dark. The quest is provided, you guessed it, at the end of the sewers. Just travel to this location on the map and access the lair to claim it. Once again, you'll receive instructions as to how you can upgrade this player house and unlock each of the benefits we've just listed. And again, it's just a case of visiting a vendor and buying some upgrades. The final player house in base DLC is the Fighter's Stronghold, otherwise known as Battlehorn Castle. The Fighter's Stronghold offers players the ability to unlock servants who can provide you with food, drink, and ability enhancing wines. It also provides a buff to improve your armourer skill, a trainer for sparring practice, and the ability to produce hunting trophies. You pick up the quest for the Fighter's Stronghold at the end of the sewers, just like the other DLC housing quests, but in this case you do actually have to do something to unlock it, a bit like Dunbarrow Cove. It's very simple though. Travel to this location on the map and defeat the enemies who are besieging the castle. Once you've done this, you just need to speak to the guard and you'll be awarded the castle. Probably the easiest way anyone's ever been awarded an entire castle in history. And of course, you'll get some instructions on how to upgrade it using a new vendor in the Imperial City. Next up, we have the Orrery DLC, which is basically a short quest line that unlocks the Orrery within the Arcane University. This allows you to obtain a buff to an attribute, but you have to do this at the cost of taking a debuff to a different attribute. Which buff you get is based on the moon cycle in the game. Now, to unlock this feature, you'll first receive a quest after leaving the sewers, surprise surprise, and this quest will lead you to a bandit camp that I'm showing on the map right now. Defeat the bandit here and loot the note on their body. This will then unlock 4 further bandit camps, again showing that on the map now. You'll need to go to each of these camps, defeat the bandits, and most importantly, and I forgot to do this when filming this video even though I've done it before, loot the dwarven items that they are carrying. If you don't loot these, you won't be able to complete the quest. You then need to head back to the Arcane University, marked on the map, and speak to Vile in order to complete the quest. Now, regardless of her saying, "Here is your reward," you will actually need to wait 24 hours before you can gain access to the Orrery. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but whatever. After waiting 24 hours, you'll get a quest update that's going to prompt you that you're able to access the Orrery through this door. Job done. The next DLC is Spell Tomes, and it's the simplest of all. Basically, this DLC adds spell tomes to the world that will be teaching you, well, spells, big surprise. You don't need to do anything special to get them. There's something like a 25% chance that they're going to appear instead of a scroll, and you're just going to randomly find them in the world. Barely worth mentioning, but it technically is DLC content, and I did call this a complete guide. Now onto the 3 most exciting DLCs, at least in my opinion. Firstly, you have Mehrunes Razor. This adds a quest to the game that takes you into the depths of a new dungeon in search of a powerful Daedric artifact, known as Mehrunes Razor. This is one of the biggest dungeons, in fact I think it might be the biggest dungeon in the game, and as well as the artifact itself, it offers a new armor set, weapons, a new spell, and various other items. Once again, you get this quest at the end of the sewers, and then you'll have to make a long trek east from Vile, unless you already have some other fast travel locations unlocked. And once you get there, you're going to need to go into the castle ruins and enter the dungeon. Now, I want to avoid spoilers for this one as it does have a story component, so I won't say any more on the quest itself, aside from letting you know to loot the bag next to the door, as the diary in that bag is required to progress the quest. And I don't think you actually get the option to open the door if you don't do it. But I'll leave the rest for you to uncover for yourself. Next up is the Knights of the Nine DLC, which introduces an expansive new quest chain in which you seek out the lost relics of the Divine Crusader. This is the second largest DLC for Oblivion and includes new locations, enemies, weapons, armour, including a very cool Crusader set actually, and a bunch of new magic among other things. To start the expansion, you need to travel to Anvil and speak to this crazy preacher guy. Ask him about the chapel attack, and then be sure to say, "No, I have no claim to fame," in order to progress the dialogue to the point that he'll actually give you the pilgrimage quest. If you brag about your accomplishments, he won't offer you the quest and you'll have to restart the dialogue. It's also worth noting that you cannot start the quest if you've become infamous, so you'll have to clear your infamy first. Along with the quest, he'll give you a map that shows you the locations of the different shrines that you need to visit to complete the first part of the quest. Again, no spoilers, the rest is for you to discover. And finally, we have the most significant DLC, the only one considered to be a true expansion, the Shivering Isles. The Shivering Isles expansion sees players enter the realm of Sheogorath to assist him in protecting his plane of oblivion from the Grey March. Again, I won't give any spoilers, but if you've enjoyed the base game, it's definitely worth your time. It's a really good expansion. The Shivering Isles unlocks a whole new zone, dungeons, new factions, enemies, items, lore, achievements, and just about everything else. To start the expansion, you need to exit the sewers at the beginning of the game and then wait 24 to 48 hours for the quest to appear. Once you have the quest, you'll need to travel to this island outside Vile. I believe you can actually force the quest by travelling to this island if you've not received it in the conventional way, but either way, once you arrive on the island, you're going to need to defeat the crazy individual who exits the portal, or just let the guard do it for you. Then you're going to let some dialogue play out that eventually offers you to enter the portal. And that's it. Hopefully this video has given you an understanding of what every Oblivion DLC offers and how to access it all. I have several other Oblivion guides on my channel and I do plan to produce more, so maybe check them out. I also create other Elder Scrolls and Warcraft content, usually guides and lore videos. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then maybe consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.